Hi, and welcome to today's video where I will be talking about how AI is revolutionizing project management. And as you are aware, AI is a big buzzword at the moment, a lot like Agile when it first came in, but AI is really a big topic and has a big impact potentially on all project managers through the industry. So in this video, what I will be covering is a little brief intro into what AI is, and not really go into too much detail on that, but very high level. And then I'll be going into how AI has, transforming project management and some of the tools and software that's available really to help move that along. And then I will be going to the potential challenges and some considerations that we need to take into place. And then finally, what the future outlook of AI and the impact it has on project management. So without delay, let's crack on. So a bit of a brief intro into what AI is. Basically, I mean, AI is not science fiction; it's real now. It was being spoken about many years ago, but it's technology that enables machines to learn from data and perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. So, in a nutshell, AI empowers computers to think, reason, and make decisions like humans. So it's like for example, just imagine having a project manager that never sleeps and never gets tired and processes mountains of data, really, really quickly. AI's data analysis powers, does it in seconds. It can shift crucial amounts of information, identify patterns. It can provide insight and steer into projects towards success. There's all sorts of things that AI can do. One of the other ones is it can enhancing project management. It's not just a buzzword. It can bring value into the project management field. It can help predict potential roadblocks, optimize resource allocation, even forecast project timelines based on historical data. But it's like having a crystal ball, but AI isn't quite there yet, but it's getting there, put it that way. So some real examples of AI. I mean, there's data-driven insights, which AI helps you do. Automation revolution, which is like taking away the manual tasks away from it and actually automating those things, which personally I think is a good thing. Anything that's repetitive doesn't really need to be done by a human, and more complicated things should be done by us humans. And AI is here now. It's being used, and everybody knows about ChatGPT. It's all happening as we speak. So really, how the key ways AI is revolutionizing project management. So a couple of things is efficient. A couple of topics is really efficient resource allocation. So one of the benefits of AI, in my opinion, is that it helps to manage efficient resource allocation. It could decipher patterns, it can allocate resource. There's all sorts of things that it could help with. And a prime example is really where and a piece of software is called Liquid Planner, for example, where an AI-powered resource management tool, it crunches the data to provide realistic project timelines. It's balancing workload across teams and avoiding resource bottlenecks. So it does a lot of the, how to say, the mundane crunching for you. Another element where it's revolutionary is predictive analytics. So let's for example, you want to predict the project's future. It can use historical data to analyze. AI generates predictions for the project outcomes. Foreseeing potential pitfalls, opportunities, and horizon. An example of this would be like when you're trying to meet the forecast and you've got an AI-driven platform that uses historical data to predict project completion dates, which helps you make more informed decisions and keep risks at bay. It's called. The other one is smart task management. So really, the days are going to be move away from where you manually start doing things to assign tasks in sequential order. And you can do all the juggling around where AI does it for you. You put in the parameters and it does it for you. So an example would be where you go to versatile project management. You've got a project, you put all your tasks in, but things change. You put that change in, and it does everything else for you. Forecast your risk, forecast your uh, timeline. It puts in all the dependencies, putting all that, and that is actually, I've seen it in reality happen with some AI tools. Another one is data-driven insights. So just imagine if AI, as you data, they're a data expert. They can unravel insights from the project's DNA, and understand the detail. An AI processes data far quicker than humans can. It can unveil trends, patterns, and help you make well-informed decisions. Now, a good tool here is Power BI. It's been used before, and it can be used now to give you more business analytical tools, to give you more project data, and transforms that into some sort of engaging project guiding, a visual data that and far more efficient than a human could do. And the final one is enhanced communication. I feel that AI is going to actually bring better communication tools to a team where it can start doing automation tasks to give people, and you've got chatbots, you've got language processing tools, etc., which enable efficiency. So across continents, across different languages, you could do real-time collaboration from somebody in the UK to somebody in India, somebody in Singapore, and make sure that you're all talking, and it translates it to the native language if need be. But those are real potentials there. So the next is really, what are the potential challenges with and considerations? So one thing with AI, it will bring a degree of a shift and a change on how project managers work. And one of them, I mean, which a lot of people is, there's going to be job displacement and a lot of automation, which automation in the right way, I think, is good. It's going to help take away the mundane activities. It will displace jobs, but how much, how big, no one really knows. And an example is, a virtual assistant, for example, like Siri, Alexa. They haven't eliminated humans at the moment, but they become human assistants, and more efficient at doing it. As you know, with your Alexa or your Google or whatever you may have, Google Home you may have, you can request things for your shopping, etc. Those things are already in place. That, I think, that will advance even more, be more predictive, saying, actually, do you want to do this, do that, and then build on the life. And that could still be a major impact on how things are done. Next one is around human oversight and decision making. Now, even though we're pushing forward with AI, it's important to remember that I don't think at this stage AI is ready to replace the human mindset. We've got the oversight where we can look at things, make more decisions, because we can process data that are relevant to our tasks. And it's really, being really, I don't think yet it's there, but I think there's going to be a moment when it will happen. And I think when it does happen, it will be a big shift in how things go. But I think it's not just quite yet there. An example really is like IBM's Watson, which I've got a colleague who works for IBM. They've used it to provide medical diagnosis, but and make financial decisions based on that. Final decisions based on the medical diagnosis, or helping doctors in medics, etc. And there's other industries, within project management, it could potentially help you, say, oh, actually, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and steer the project in the right direction. Another area that I think is going to be challenging is ethical considerations, and is there going to be an algorithm bias? Ethically, is it viable? Does it meet the right requirements for against other humans? And will the algorithm be able to determine that? Which I don't think it will, because AI is based on algorithm, and it's not quite just yet there yet. And the other thing when it comes to ethical, is the other people using AI for criminal activity, etc. Which, well, I've got friends in the security industry who are seeing far more sophisticated security attacks being managed and developed within AI, which they now need to deal with and have to power through. So, will AI now become the controlling element for security. Who knows, and that would affect projects, because if you are implementing any kind of security, that needs to take into consideration. But understanding the human balance of what's right and wrong sometimes needs to be in place, and I don't think it's quite there just yet. And then the final is, balancing efficiency and ethics. I think the revolution at the moment with AI, it's on a thin line, between efficiency and ethics. Where does it sit? While AI enhances efficiency, we must ensure that its application aligns with ethical principles. With striking this balance will foster, it will foster trust among stakeholders and reinforce AI's positive impact on project management. And really, if you want to embrace AI into your business, these are some of the things that need to be taken up, especially when you've got a customer base or you're delivering a project. That's really, really key. Another one is human-machine symbiosis. Can humans and machines work together? I think they can, and you've seen it in manufacturing where machines are doing part work, and AI now is probably a co-pilot for a lot of us. And I use it for this video. I will be using elements of ChatGPT to help me structure my YouTube content, etc. So already it's a tool that's being used to help develop content in many areas of marketing, sales, and in project management. I think it could be a good learning tool as well. So next is really, what does the future hold with AI? And at the moment, I think it's really in its infancy, but at the pace it's going rapidly quick, and I think there's going to be much more further development and improvements with the number of AI tools out there. There's huge opportunity, but there's also huge risk coming along, which needs to be managed. And as you've probably seen in many articles, the governments are now taking more and more interest, seeing the benefits as well as the dangers that this brings to the economies of the world. So some of the areas that we need to look at in future is, streamlining beyond imagination. There's going to be massive streamlining of work. Things are going to be done more efficiently, more faster, and I think we're already there, but it's going to be a massive positive spin. I see the negative where it's going to displace maybe some roles, but just like with any technology, I also think it's going to provide more opportunities. So in the future, I think there's going to be a dawn where there is going to be more advanced AI technologies. You'll see AI technology evolving into even more sophisticated forms. Machine learning, it will where it is at the moment, it'll give birth to predictive models. It will foresee project outcomes with good accuracy. At the moment, I don't think it's there. And then it's naturally learning as well, which I think as you start inputting more and more data, it will learn at a faster pace, which in some respects is quite scary, but in some respects is quite positive as well, because it's going to add massive opportunities to do things better and more efficiently. I think in some respects, AI is going to shift in how project managers do things as well, how you do implications and transformations as well. How that's going to happen yet, I don't know. So software, for example, it could again, like you said, it'll handle routine reporting tasks, take that away from you, and I honestly think that's not a bad thing. It'll manage your resource, which is a massive headache. I think it's going to be good, and it can manage some of your risk, which I think is really, really good as well. But there's opportunities as well, and I think where we can adopt AI through upskilling individuals. So I think as a PM, using tools such as Trello, there's a few others out there, ChatGPT, there's Project Planner that I've seen as well. Those things are all going to bring tools that are going to make things a lot better. Which means that rather than doing the mundane stuff, you're doing the more interesting stuff, managing the critical elements of the project. I don't think AI is going to take away all the roles for project management. Where it's repetitive, I think it will, and those jobs will not. Those deliveries will no longer require PMs. But however, anything complicated, and one of the projects I'm working on is considerable degree of complexity, means that I don't think AI is in a place to manage that complexity just yet. But the collaboration between us and AI is definitely there. Um, and I think AI is here to stay. It's going to be the new way of working, and I think as a project manager, you should embrace it, use it, learn from it, and apply it so that it betters what you do and improves what you do and makes you more efficient. Because we do have as humans, we have our flaws, but anything that makes things better is always good. But in conclusion, I think AI is going to be a massive shift. It's going to provide a lot of insight into what we do, but I think the biggest impact at the moment is that it's going to take away the menial tasks that we do. It's going to, hopefully apply better management of risk and resourcing, and it's going to help with managing automation of tasks, etc., and resource allocation, which I think, from that perspective, is good. And from a financial perspective, I honestly think it's going to be also able to do all your financial planning and forecasting as part of the project, which I have seen in other tools already. And so I think it's definitely here to stay. It's definitely going to be impact. But my biggest advice would be is embrace the technology and allow it to support what you do. I hope that was helpful. It's a very brief overview. I will be doing more videos which are covering particular tools, how they can help, etc. But if you liked what you hear, please subscribe. If you've got any comments, please feedback. I would be appreciated. And thank you for listening today.